Cosmic Besties. We are your Cosmic Besties, your go-to space for all things spiritual and girlhood. We are your best friends that you can talk to anything about. No judgment here. So today we are continuing our series on tarot. So last week, if you watched it, Kelly taught us a really simple spread that you can use every single day or anytime you are kind of going through something and wanting to gain insight into it. So that was the 3-card spread, which explained what was the past energy, the present energy, and then what the future energy might be. And today we're going to take it a little step further, and I'm going to teach you a 6-card spread that you can use when you are in a situation that you are wanting more information about, but particularly where you're kind of wondering why it is whatever it is that you want is not not coming through, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you're coming up with roadblocks, this can be really great in illuminating what maybe you need to let go of that's maybe hindering your progress and what is really supporting you in it.
And
So
when did you start getting into some of the spreads with more cards? What was that journey like for you?
So I would say I did the 6-card spread. That was probably the first one that I started doing. Just because I really liked that it gave you kind of 2 perspectives. So it told you what was blocking you from having what you wanted, and it also told you what you could do to unblock it. When I do readings for my clients, I do the Celtic Cross, and I love that one because it will illuminate your subconscious and your unconscious and how that is contributing to the energy around you right now, which I think is really interesting. And it pulls in elements from the past, as well as kind of giving you a snapshot of what the near future and the future might be. But that one takes a little bit longer. So we're going to stick with the 6-card one right now. So let's see. So if we're thinking of a question for the collective, an intention, I know last week we kind of thought about the transition into fall. So what do you think would be a good intention for this reading for everybody?
Maybe for the collective, we could explore anything blocking more abundance for them.
Ooh, okay. All right. So what is blocking the abundance for the collective? So the first card that you pull, this is going to be the current energy. So basically your question, the energy around your question. The next card that you pull is going to be what could be blocking you from having what your desire is. So that's card number 2. So card number 3 is going to be what is working for you right now. Okay, and I don't know, it's hard to see. So I put them kind of side by side. So I have the main card, your intention, in the center, and then on the left is what I have what's blocking it, and on the right I have what is going to support it. So now you're going to choose the cards to unblock whatever is blocking you from abundance. So that is the 4th card. So this one popped out. Okay, and now the next card is, well, what can we do to continue that support? What can we do to allow that abundance to flow to us even more? Okay. And then the last card is the possible future outcome if we decide to go down the path of ease as opposed to that path of resistance. Okay, so we have 6 cards. So you have your first position, which is just what your question is. Second position is what is blocking you from having whatever your question is. The third card is what is going right. The fourth card, and maybe I'll put this in the show notes because it's a lot. The fourth card is how to unblock. The fifth card is how to continue that flow of abundance or continue the flow of whatever it is that you want to bring into your life. And then the sixth card is the possible outcome. Okay, so let's see here. We actually have really great cards. Whoa! I love these. Okay. Okay. So the card that we got for like the present energy, the I guess what's surrounding our abundance is the high priestess. So to me, this is really tapping into our intuition. So what's going to allow that abundance to come to us is what we're doing right now is really listening to your intuition. So when you're making purchases, making sure it's a purchase that's like aligning with your values. When you are, you know, trying to bring in this abundance, whether it's abundance of money or love or health, whatever it is, make sure it's coming from that place that's inside, that deep inner knowing, because that's going to steer you on the right path. What is maybe blocking it is interesting. So we got the Page of Pentacles. So this is kind of, to me, there may have been normally this is a really great card, so I'm kind of trying to see why it's maybe blocking us from abundance. But the Page of
Sometimes too
Pentacles,
much of a good thing is a bad thing, right? Like, could it be
yeah.
overused?
Well, to me, it's maybe that there's something that you're trying to create that's new, that's going to maybe bring another avenue of abundance. And it feels like it's just maybe a little too new right now. Like maybe you need to do some more soul searching or learn some, take a class on finance, or maybe you're going to take, get rid of the dating apps for a while and really like listen to your intuition. Cause it's not working. The Page of Pentacles oftentimes is like, an opportunity that's coming to you that could be good for the pockets. But because it's in the position where it's blocking your abundance, to me, it's that whatever this new thing is that you were thinking is going to be a channel of whatever you're trying to bring more of in is maybe you just don't know enough about it yet, or maybe it's just too new. So how to unblock that is, it's interesting that we've got the Hierophant, which is about higher learning and that kind of connecting to that higher wisdom, connecting to your oversoul and allowing that to guide you. So with this new channel, it's not that it's negative. It's not that it's like a dead end.
Mhm.
If you want it to really kind of grow and blossom, like it's like you're planting the seeds. And if you want those seeds to grow and blossom, you have to learn a little bit more. There's some disconnect between what you're trying to achieve and what you need to know in order to achieve that. So moving on to the side of what's working and what's flowing. So the first card we got is the King of Wands. So to me, this sometimes represents a person who is passionate, who is an entrepreneur, who allows that fire inside of them to guide them and lead them. So a lot of us, maybe it could be there's somebody in your life who's going to be helping you with this whatever this new channel is that's going to bring in more abundance. Maybe it's a love for somebody who, he's somebody who could be a good businessman or an entrepreneur or somebody who always has like these new ideas that are bringing in just more abundance. And it could be more abundance of love, health, whatever it is that you're hoping to gain. So allowing yourself to trust and let him lead you, or it could be the energy of the card leading you, allowing yourself to really step into the authority position of being the authority of knowledge on what it is that you're creating, or the authority of yourself and your sovereignty and your intuition. And then what's going to continue to allow that to flow through? We got the Star. And the Star is all about having hope, not losing hope. And most importantly, it's about trust. Trusting that the universe has your back, trusting that your intuition is this deep well of inner wisdom and knowledge, and that you're meant to tap into it. And if you continue that path of trust and surrender, is kind of what I'm picking up on. Like, we just need to surrender. Then what happens is you get the Eight of Pentacles, which is your wishes beginning to come true, to the point where you're seeing like the fruits of your labor. Money is coming in, love is coming in, whatever it is that you've planted, those seeds that we talked about. Now this is the time that the fruits from them are coming back to you. So to me, I think overall it's a very positive spread. It's just really, learning a little bit more in order to really move the needle in terms of this new avenue or new channel that you're bringing in. Trusting your intuition, trusting the universe, and allowing that spark of creativity and that spark of passion to really guide you. And then if you do all of that, it's going to come to you. It's going to flow to you naturally, as opposed to you having to like really pull it out. It's just going to flow to you. But you got to surrender.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that.
Yeah.
For one thing, when you were doing the reading, your lighting changed and you got like all like light and
I
ethereal.
know. So I that happened. That's really funny. That happened the other day when I've been working with this. She's like a business coach slash cannot speak today slash like a healer, and we did like this cord cutting ceremony, and then she ended with like a Reiki shower. So it was like a meditation and a visualization, and my screen did that same thing where it got like almost this like glow and this where you look like you're in like a dream state.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like the energy coming off of me. Like when I close my eyes to pull the cards, I do connect to like my oversoul or my higher self. So I don't know if it's that or if it's just maybe the sun came out and it changed the lighting. But
Either
yeah,
way, it was great timing because it was like right as you started the card read.
I noticed it too. I was like, okay. I mean, I look very washed out. I'm like this Victorian girl
No,
that needs some vitamin D.
you still look great. It was so funny when you were doing the card reading. I was like, all I kept hearing on repeat in my head is your higher self needs to be in the driver's seat. Let
Oh
them
my
drive.
gosh. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Trust your higher self, trust your intuition, and surrender it.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So you don't have to do any complex card reads. Like I don't know about you, but like I use tarot in really simple ways sometimes too. Like whether it's sort of more free flowing where I'll just do a card for the day just to see
Yeah.
what the day might hold. But I will also meditate on that sometimes because I have trouble just like solidly meditating without like a purpose. Like to just sit
Yeah.
there and be quiet is super hard for me. So
Hmm.
get out in nature. But if it's like raining out and I can't, then I might, pull a card and then just kind of look at it and then use that for my meditation. What about you?
I love what you said about using it for your meditation. I've personally never done that before, but I think that's a really kind of cool idea to do and use. I use it, I will do it every once in a while. Usually the first of the month, I will always pull a card just to kind of see what the energy is. If people are following me on Instagram, I usually do like an energy of the week reading where I'll pull a card or two. It's kind of just a nice way to ask and tune into yourself about what the day is going to be like, what the energy could be like for you, and maybe how to move through it so that you're living your most aligned life. That's what I do a lot of the times is I'll choose a card or two in the morning, asking like, how can I live my most aligned life today? What do I need to know to kind of get me through it?
Yeah.
um, I do it every once in a while, like once a year, usually on New Year's Eve. I will do a really big spread and I will do like a 12-month spread. So I will be looking at kind of a snapshot of what the year's energy could mean for me. And then it's kind of plays in nicely with intention setting. So you can almost turn it into like a little ritual or ceremony where on New Year's Eve, you take some time to tune into yourself and write your intentions and your reflections and then maybe you pull a few cards to see what the energy of this new year is going to bring to you.
I have also done a 12-month spread for myself. And I have kind of revisited it quarterly. So like I took a
Oh, I
picture
love that.
and then so like I focused mostly on the first quarter of the year and then I focused on the second quarter, but now here we're getting close to the second half of the year. So I need to go back and look at it and see
Yeah.
like what's in store for me for this quarter. So I haven't done that yet.
You know what's really cool about that too is you could maybe on like the maybe so I usually write a piece of paper and I write down everything that like are the key moments for each month.
Yeah.
And then you could write down on the side maybe what your intentions are. And if you're looking at it every quarter, it's almost like a reminder of your intentions for that year. So a lot of us, like by this time, we're kind of like slipping away from what it was that past, January we really wanted to learn. And so sometimes you beat yourself up. So this is a way of kind of like keeping you in check.
Yeah.
Um, so that you really stick with those intentions throughout the entire year. I also like love to do a burning ceremony. So I will take my piece of paper that was from, the past year,
Yeah.
and I will burn it and just release that energy and thank the universe for giving me what it did and the lessons that I learned. And then I will go ahead and do my new tarot reading for this coming year. So
That's
that's just kind of a
uh,
nice way to use, um, yeah, to use the tarot too in a fun and kind of ceremonial way.
yeah, I love that. I love that, like adding it to like almost a ritual of yours. That's
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever used it for like making a decision? Like
Yeah.
I'm shameful to admit it. Like sometimes
Hmm.
I'm feeling super indecisive. So I will just use tarot and I'll be like, what happens if I choose chicken for dinner? And
Yeah.
what happens? And what happens if I choose spaghetti? And
Hmm.
then I will see. And it doesn't always, sometimes the universe is like, come on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
won't give me an answer, but
Hmm.
it helps.
Yeah, if I so I definitely have done that before, especially like on this like healing journey when I was not trusting myself as much as I do right now. I would for sure. I mean, so it was at a point like I was doing it almost daily when I first learned tarot, and I kind of had to take a step back because I kept getting like very similar cards,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember what it was like. I would get the death card a lot. And to me, it was like a signal of like, girl, stop. Like, you just got to surrender. You just got to trust. Like, stop asking us. It's like, when you ask your guides for too many signs and then like the signs stop for a while, it's
Yes.
almost like that hard love where your guides are saying, hey, you need to trust yourself. We're not going to keep giving you signs because we're giving them to you and you're not listening.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so yeah, I definitely, there were times in my life where I used tarot a lot to make decisions. And to me, it was coming from a place of like fear and not trusting myself. So I really tried to use it just for like the daily, if I'm, just curious what the energy of the day is going to be. Or I used it, once a year for that big, like, what's the energy of the year going to be. But I think the important thing is to keep an open mind and really, when you're doing this, know that nothing is set on stone.
Yes.
So our decisions are constantly reshaping our paths. And I mean, if we want to get really kind of woo woo, I believe that like there are, you know, thousands of timelines that are happening simultaneously right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the decision that you make and the lessons that you learn can shift what timeline you're on. So you're conscious of this one right now, but let's say you get like a big leap on that spiritual ladder. Well, you're going to shift to a different timeline. So that tarot reading that you had 6 months ago, maybe it's not going to be, the same, or maybe it's not going to be as, what's the word I'm thinking of? Yeah, relevant to what you're going through right now because you shift timelines. So I think that's important to note too.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And I think that's one of the reasons why like when I do the 12-month spread, I only try to look at it quarterly.
Yeah.
The second quarter I did ask for then clarification on the spread because it wasn't feeling super aligned in
Oh,
the second quarter.
interesting.
Um,
What was the clarification? Like, did
so
it
I
validate
did
you?
yeah, the clarification helped. I didn't use tarot for it. I actually used a separate oracle deck, but it was basically like indicating that like growth had occurred and that like I had chosen a different path. And so it was
Yeah.
really cool to get that confirmation.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm definitely going to do the quarterly thing that you mentioned because I think one, it's a good reminder, but two, it's also, um, it's just like a kind of a check-in of how your year is going. And so you can look at it and like Kelly said, if you get to this, the month of May and you're like, whoa, like this is nothing like what, I pulled in January, maybe pull a card or two and see kind of what's going on because it could be that your timeline shifted. Maybe you timeline jumped, or maybe you took a step back, and that's okay too, because that's all part of our journey.
Yeah, for sure. For those of you who have littles around, you can also use it to like get to know them and help them harness their intuition. So I don't
Mm.
know, Christy, if you've done this with
Yeah.
like your youngest in particular, but if
Mhm.
you haven't, I've done this with my oldest, but I'll like get a card out and I don't use the deck that has like any of the keywords on it.
Mhm.
But I will get it out and then I'll ask her like, what does this card bring up for you? Like, how do you feel when you see this card? Or,
Mhm.
you know, what do you think in your head when you see this card? And it's interesting to see how damn spot on those kids
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, little
they don't
kids are incredible. They're
yeah.
so connected. And I think it's because, and I think we've talked about this before. I think kids are so tuned in and connected because they're not like jaded from the outside world yet. They don't
Yeah.
have all these stories they're that they're linked to. They're just in their full true essence of self and they're able to connect to that intuition, to that deep remembering. I use it with my kids, not as much anymore because they're getting older.
Yeah.
When they were really little, I wish I could find it when we moved. So we moved in 2019. Um, and I lost my like box that had my cards in them. But there were these little cards that you were meant to use with your kids, and they were oracle cards. But like the pictures were like, kind of childlike, and the words like pertain to like what a child would be going through. And so we would choose one every single day. And that was just kind of like our little ritual. But that was when they were like in preschool and I guess like early elementary school. But yeah, I think that can be like a nice ritual. And also, it teaches them to trust their intuition, which I think is especially important for girls.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. The last use that I would recommend, and I don't know if you do this too, but like sometimes I'll feel like I need to let go of something, but I can't quite figure out what it is, and I maybe don't have the desire to sit alone and meditate.
Hmm.
But I love doing art, so I love like writing or painting. So sometimes I'll say, I'll ask the universe for what do I need to like work on or what do I need to let go of, and I'll draw a card, and then I'll use that to either inspire what I'm going to paint or write about.
Oh, I
So
love that. I've never done that before, but now I kind of want to.
I think you could do it like for people who are musically inclined, like you could
Hmm.
to like write music. So I think it can be great for like prompting creativity because I think creativity comes from within us from dealing with emotions, be them positive or negative, just strong emotions, and it helps you then release that from your body. So,
Yeah. Oh, I love that. It's almost like you're tapping into that intuitive side that has just been waiting for you to release. Yeah.
yes,
Well, because
exactly.
that's what the point is it's the subconscious or the unconscious. So you're
Yeah.
not allowing your mind to pull the card for you. You're letting um your subconscious pull it. And sometimes that can be even more profound than if you were just like having your checklist and checking in with yourself mentally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we hope you enjoyed the longer spread and hearing a little bit more about our stories and potential uses for you with tarot. If you want us to do more episodes on tarot, drop us a comment in response to this episode and let us know. Or if there are other topics that you want to hear from us on, drop us a comment in this episode on that as well.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you soon.